what's going on out there. A little weird way to start a video, but it's been a little while. How you doing today, everybody? This is Jason's House of Fun and Video Games, bringing you today another update to the Game Room, the Room of Doom, the Room of Shame, the places where we all come to hang. And I didn't mean to make that rhyme, but hell, what am I going to do? I'm just fine today. Actually, I had a really good day today. It's been a while since I had a really good day today. Not because of personal, but because of professional. Because your job will drive you nuts. And it is what it is, right? So what did I do? Well, I have done a lot of alterations to the game room over the years in the different places. And there was something about this room that I really liked the space that this gave me. But it wasn't cutting it. It just didn't fit. And I'm usually okay with things that don't fit, but unfortunately, as I look behind me for whatever reason, I felt like somebody was behind me. Somebody behind me? No, it's just a couple of G.I. Joe figures. I feel that this particular part of the room looks 110% better. I think I'm just looking at it right now, so I mean, this isn't going to be a super long video. I'm kind of do a little, roundabout or whatever, kind of move some things around and, not much, but this is the important piece. Now, why did I do this? Is it an aesthetic thing? Is it a room thing? Well, if I didn't have said giant couch, well, love seat, whatever the hell you want to call it, because I almost trip over the cord for the 15,000th time. This takes up a ton of room, Mike. I'm not going to show you what I want to show you yet, but this thing takes up a ton of room. And it's okay, but it kind of makes it very difficult to do these videos. Beggars can't be choosers. I do appreciate that I've been able to do what I have with this room, but I feel like this isn't anywhere close to when my basement went bye-bye back in 2020, right before a whole lot of other things went crazy. But it's on that scope. It's in that lane. And it's something small. So I've been looking for something that really stuck out to me that I can make this look better, make more effort to make as much room as possible to probably fit more crap, right? Because that's what we do in these type of places. As you can, clearly see, we've got a whole bunch of stuff there, right? It's just the way it is. It's our room away from home. A room away from everything. It's just a place you go just to hang out, chill, maybe play some games, maybe just sit and admire all the shit that you have, because I certainly have done that more than once or twice in my life. And it's not because, you gotta flex or do any of that crazy shit. It's just feels good. Feels good to step back in the past for a moment. Don't get lost, because you're going to forget about your present and your future, right? Well, we're back looking at this game yet again. Yes, we're getting all philosophical already. It's just a minor update. This is crazy, right? I'm probably going to put some other things in here. I will go into other things that I was working on. I'm not too happy with the outcome of it, so I probably won't release it other than just maybe spreading some of the video throughout this video at some point in time. But I've been looking for something to open up this room a little bit, and then I got this giant, love seat, and it's super comfortable. Like, I've fallen asleep in here so many times, it's ridiculous. Like, wow. Yeah, I pop on some show I've been trying to catch up with, Law and Order, Blue Bloods, or whatever it happens to be. I like those shows. They're great shows. And there's Walking Dead, Dead City going on right now. It's got a few shows on the horizon. I'm pretty happy with it. And just kind of binge them without doing the whole, streaming thing. But it's technically streaming. I don't know. I mean, it's on my DVR, so it's not that there's anything wrong with that. There isn't. But for me, I appreciate the streaming platforms, not firms. I appreciate that for wrestling, like WWE. I can watch WCW Nitro from 1995 or Survivor Series 94. Anything 94 is probably one of my favorite years, other than the great 80s and Hulkamania and all that other crap. But I don't know why I got off track, but that's what I do. So, well, I'll tell you, if you're any indication of how my subscribers feel, you've been waiting for an awful long time for another video. Well, let me... I'm trying to shoot a video for my channel. Whatever you have to say is obviously not as important as what I'm trying to do right now. So, shame on me for not silencing my phone. Rule number 1. Silence the phone. Bye-bye. There we go. Alright. Shut that off. Now that we get that out of the way, I've been looking for something to replace this thing that just stuck out to me, and I just really didn't like it. Now, you've probably seen enough video clips by now to wondering, well, what did you do? It's very simple. We have a new station for all the old systems. Vintage now at this point. Some of them are vintage. I think it's vintagey, and some of them are retro, and yeah, I'm pretty proud of this. Is it the end of changes in the game room? No. But does it make me feel better, like if I didn't have this giant thing in here, which is 100% necessary, and it's a lot more comfortable to be in here? Is it necessary to make any more changes? Yeah, of course. I mean, I've got plenty of ideas that I want to do, but effort, time, it's usually more time. Like doing a video. I haven't done a video in a bit, and I had a video cooking. Like, as you know, if you haven't, you're going to see it. I just don't know when I'm going to put it in there. But I was playing some Super Ghouls and Ghosts for the SNES. Super Nintendo for you folks out there that don't know what the hell I'm talking about. It's a great game. It's super hard. And I didn't beat it, unfortunately. I just didn't like the way it came out. I didn't like the amount of... I was awake. I was pretty tired when I did it, so... yeah. Feeling pretty good today, though. Today was the first good day in a long time, and like I said, it's not a personal reason, just professional. You know, work's a crazy place, life's a crazy place, but you know, can't complain. Just got to do better. So we're going to get to what we've all been waiting for. I don't know how much time has passed on the clock, so what am I going to do? It is what it is. But here it is. So what is this? Well, you saw how it looked before, and this is awesome. So I have been looking for something like this for quite a while. And it's just awesome. Now, I can't put all my stuff over there. That's why we kind of had to clutter up the corner again. But, I mean, you can actually see some... yeah, you can actually see some wall. I don't know when the last time is I saw that wall, but before I did that other change. But this is just great. This is all tempered glass. This was at Salvation Army. It's not too far away from me. And it was $80. Now, I'm not one to really pinch the penny at the thrift or try to wheel and deal, but this item just happened to have that asking for it kind of thing. So on the tag, after looking at a bunch of things, and I eyed this. Like, I eyed this to see if I could actually make this work. Now, some of the other stuff's going to be over there that I don't really have hooked up, and some of the, you know, figures and, you know, plushes or whatever crap I got going on. Eagle's always watching. And don't worry, I have not lost. I'm your number one fan. But I saw this, $80, and it had right on there, the top, it had a make me an offer, last chance. I was like, wow, this is really awesome. So I've never really messed with that. I went up to one of the people that works there, and it just so happens to be one of the people that used to work in a different Salvation Army that was a lot further away, but was closer to my work at the time. Used to go there all the time. Place is great. I've shot videos in it. It's pretty funny to think now that it's been a whole year that they shut the place down. Like, it reopened after Hurricane Ian did hit us eventually, but it sustained severe damage and roofs and leaks and everything like that. So I ran into this person that ran it. I don't know if they run this one or whatever, but they remembered me because, I went in there all the time, talking, see what's going on, seeing the deals, stuff like that, and just, getting to know people, whatever. And I, said, hey, listen, there's this thing in here that says, give me an offer. It's a blue sticker, really cool. I really wish I had video of when I did this kind of stuff, but, at the same time, I think I've always said this. I do like to show off when I'm at the thrift, but I haven't gotten to that comfort level yet where I could run around with a GoPro on me or with this like this. I wouldn't do what I'm doing right now, holding it in some sort of, freestanding thing. I don't know what the hell you would call this. A selfie stick. I have no idea, but I wouldn't feel comfortable going through a store for this for a number of different reasons. It doesn't mean I wouldn't, but I don't know. Just for me, it's just not me. But hopefully I'll be able to bring some more video at some point. Whenever I do have this, I kind of have it in my hand, and which is very few and far between, and I'm not too loud, and excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning. I just said I was energetic, but that kind of left. I guess that's what happens when you over the 40s now. But whatever. I've got plenty of time, right? My hip has been killing me today. I'm gonna love this later when I can kind of raise up the feet and maybe watch a show or something before I go to sleep and go back to work and do the same shit, different day routine as we all do. But back to this. $80, make me an offer. So I asked her, what's the deal with this? I'm guessing that you make an offer, but I've never done this before. Yes, yeah, well, looked at it, and it's been there for a while. It had some sort of sticker to signify that, I guess. I don't know how all that works, and I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there that will explain every little solitary thing about each one of these thrifts. Not really what I'm doing here, but it's still cool, because how many times do I get to go out to the thrift? Not a lot. Very rarely now, but it's cool. I'm good with it. But it said, make me an offer. So she looked at me and she said, well, make me an offer. I said, okay. How about 30? She looked at it, she thought about it a minute, and she went, okay. So I think there's a little bit more haggling that usually happens with things like this. If I said 20, which is what Cynthia actually suggested, because Cindy was kind of back and forth about it, and she was like, I don't really know. But you got it for 20, we can grab it. So I got it for 30 and got the stink eye. What are you going to do? It is what it is. But it wasn't 80. That's a lot of money. So that's well over 50% off. That was 60% off, if I'm not mistaken. So pretty awesome. I mean, I think it's 60. Maybe 60-ish. 55. I don't know. I'm not good with percent. Sue me, whatever. I'm not a mathematician. But we got it for that. Loaded it up in the car. And we're going to go over it, it's not something huge. Does it require a game room update? No. But did I want to come on here and do something and have some fun with it? Absolutely I do. It's been a hot minute, and like I said, that other video I just wasn't feeling, so I just kind of left it sitting on the hard drive. I don't know, just whatever reason, it's what it is. But hopefully you'll get to see some of it, and if you don't, it is what it is. We'll do it again another time. But this right here is all tempered glass. Now it says specifically on the top, right there, do not, or not meant for TV. Now I can understand that because you can't hear it now because there's something on it, but it would have that glass sound. I know what TV they're probably talking about because this thing doesn't weigh at all. Nothing. It doesn't weigh anything. This one, though, that CRTV would smush that. I think eventually probably hear crack, 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 crack. Maybe it would be kind of like when I did the game room, when I first got the house, I got the game room started, and then the shelving, and they just collapsed. It would probably be something that happened over time. Maybe not as fast as that, because that felt like it was like within a day or less, that thing fell apart. It made a very large boom. But nevertheless, $80. Actually, no. Hold on. It was originally $90. That's what it was. It was $89.99. So we'll just call it $90 to be safe. So $30. I mean that's pretty up. That's pretty high up there. I did pretty good. 20 would have been better, but I mean, for $30, this thing, yeah, it has its few dings and scratches or whatever, but I mean, not really. I mean, it was a little dusty. I got a chance to finally clean off this TV. I didn't know how this was going to work, though. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't think I was going to be, when I brought it in, I'm like, and I had, the way I had to do this because the way the room is, I had to position the old thing over here, bring this in after I kind of took things apart, move the whole thing out, and it's actually now a holder for dog food and water and stuff like that, or whatever we want to put on there. So it has served its purpose. I don't like to have things that don't serve a purpose, typically. So that actually served a purpose better than the table that I had at one point. And wow, how long's it been? Probably 2021 was the last time you saw that table. It's the one where I put my computer and game systems on and everything. It was in my old game room. If I have any video footage of that, I'll definitely share it because, I don't know, maybe you haven't checked out the channel. Maybe you haven't checked out the video, but we're going to come up with a use for it. Maybe when I'm trying to present something, because I was thinking of this, right? And just let me know if I'm off here. That table is really, really big. It's probably from, I'd want to say it's from here to probably about that hinge, close to that. So I don't know, just judging by the sizes that I have here, the diameter of the room. I don't know if it would work, but I think I'd get it work and we could actually present something because I had another video that I scrapped and I shouldn't be talking about this because we're really supposed to be talking about that. And we're going to go more in depth in a sec, but it has to come out because it's been a while. I felt like being creative. I felt like giving you something to either laugh at or be like, wow, that's a really good buy. Or did you take a lesson in interior decorating? Because your room is madness. And that's fine. I accept that. What's that from? If you know, let me know. I accept that. Either way. I think that one of those videos I was referring to was my PlayStation collection. So I have a bunch of PlayStation games. I wanted to kind of down the rabbit hole we go into the collection kind of video. That's a different type of video I do here where we just dive into the collection and talk a bunch of shit and have some fun and talk about my memories and whatever. I did it, and I did it on the floor. Like, you know, I put everything on the floor. And I didn't like the way it came out. Again, I don't do super crazy edits. I'm not some fancy influencer or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's just not who I am. Who knows what the future brings, but I just like to have fun, you know, talk about things that I think are cool and give you a moment to get out of your situation, your life. Just look at something like, you know, I'm good. And it's super important because that's, again, way off the train tracks, but it's my video. It's an update. I do what I want. Go check out some other stuff too, because I got something else at the thrift that's just super cool, man. Like, I couldn't believe that I saw this. I looked at it real quick. I was like, it's just a book, but we'll get to it. At one point in time, when I was introduced to this platform, it was for something funny. Some sort of funny videos are on there, and I won't really get into what they were, because it doesn't matter. But when I really needed something, when I was kind of alone with my own thoughts and going through a lot in my life, and again, no better or worse than anybody else. It's certainly not the case or the precedent I want to set here, because you never know how the next person's feeling. After I had, you know, my friends to kind of support me, and of course my bulldog Seamus, I found YouTube to give me a moment to kind of step out of that negative shit. See somebody doing something I found was interesting, mainly Call of Duty stuff, because, you know, I'm a huge Call of Duty guy. Love Call of Duty. It's such a fun game. Well, is it though? Debatable these days, but I still enjoyed it. It's still fun. Oh, by the way, almost at Dark Matter. Yeah, finally. All I got left now after the Dark Matter is the nuke. Just one. I've come very close, but not close enough. But anyway, not going on the Call of Duty kick. That'd be a good video, right? Nah, you've seen 1,000 of those. But if I get a nuke, I'll definitely put it on. But when I get Dark Matter, believe you me, I'm going to jump for joy, because I've been working really hard on that. And I know some people can get that. I said I'd stop talking about it, but I'm not going to. I know people not anybody in general, have gotten it pretty quick. I don't know how they do it. I mean, I figured it out. Just go to Stakeout and play that until your eyes fall out. But again, great game. Doesn't matter. Whatever. The point of that table was the PS1 games. Did the video. Down the rabbit hole we go into the collection. Da 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 da. Volume, whatever the hell it would have been. And like the way it came out. So I scrapped it. I just deleted it. I said, I have no interest in this. That's just the way I am. But I completely forgot to finish my thought. Because I'm me and I'm crazy. Kind of. The whole point of me doing what I'm doing, and I say it in a few videos, but I think it's important to stress this. It's not for selfless reasons, and it's not for selfish reasons. It's somewhere in the middle. I need to be creative, one. Two, I want to pay it forward. Those times that I really needed to get out of my own head in a positive way, and there's plenty of negative ways to get out of your own head. We all know. Most of us are adults, I think. And you know what I'm talking about. And that's never good. There's got to be some way to just relax and let things be for just a moment. Again, to make it very point, you don't want to get lost. Because when you get lost, sometimes you don't find yourself. And I know it's very depressing and very, wow, what is going on with this video? Gameroom update. This sounds like a dramatic update. It's not. It's not. Just me being honest. Me being real with you. And I appreciate you tuning in, whatever. You turning into bed, watch me, tune in to watch me, why turn into bed, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But nevertheless, I want to get that point across. So the other point, the table, I think could go somewhere, around this line or whatever, somewhere from there to there. And I could actually present things in a much better way. I could do it in a faster way, because everything with me has to be strategic, with speed, and get my point across, unless I'm going too long on one of these, and that's fine, but just this main subject matter. So I don't know, just let me know, what do you think? Bring the old table back when it's time, and then I'll have to figure out how to move this thing. Or I could actually, no, hold on, so we could essentially use this, just push this behind here, because what did we do? I want to say a little bit more than where that cord is, a little bit more is probably where it's stuck out to. Probably a couple inches more. A couple inches can make a huge difference. I see what you did there. I know what you did, but don't go there. It's not what I was saying. Very funny. Preemptively waiting for those comments. Yeah, it was about out to there. I think it was about somewhere around there, maybe to the end of that bag. I'm not sure. No, it was about half that bag. Yeah, so it's somewhere around there, right? So if I can do that and have the lawn table here kind of rest in between there and there, I think it would be super helpful. It would be effective, and I could do videos faster when I'm digging into that particular type of video. Or maybe I'm going over something over to the thrift, or maybe I'm looking at something I might have in this crazy room, bought on eBay at some point in time, and revisit it, and I want to see if your boy here got duped, because it happens. You buy things and you forget to really take a look into them, and something I'm trying to do better with, but I haven't really bought anything off eBay in forever. Nevertheless, just want to put those few thoughts out there. Now back to this. I had no idea that this was actually going to fit, but it did. I thought I was going to have to make some sacrifices, but I don't. I actually moved the system over here that is normally over here, over to here. So, you got room for the Sega CD. You got room for the old NES, because that's going to be on top. And I don't really like the PlayStation there. I don't. But it's just for rooming purposes. And I could have technically put it on top of that. But I've had too much stuff on that. And what is that? We're going to get to it. But first, we got your N64. You got your Wii. I haven't played Wii in a while. One of my most popular videos on this channel was a Thrift Time and Finds, other than the game rooms, because that's a given. Everybody wants to see what could be going on with this, and you do your thumbnail right or whatever. And again, I don't need to gimmick out for anything like that. That's crazy. It's just I appreciate when people check out my stuff and find something good out of it. Paying forward stuff. But one of my most popular videos, and I don't know if I can see it. Let me see. Because again, this is who you're dealing with here. I don't think I have. It's surprisingly, I usually have it out, but I do not. So I decided to put Harley Davidson Road Trip down and order up. I see a few other reasons why. Maybe I just didn't organize that the correct. Oh, I do have it right there. So, House of the Dead 3. I think that's what it was. Maybe it was House of the Dead 3, and it was the Thrift Time and Finds combined. I don't know, whatever. That video still gets a lot of views, and it's one of my earlier videos, and I don't know if I was really super comfortable with talking to you. Am I there yet? I don't know. Do I make sense? I don't know. But you get progressively better with something as you continue to work on everything, right? It's just the way it is. You get more comfortable in your skin. But that video was really popular, and I think that maybe other than Order Up, that's the last time I played it, or the painted Wii, the Wii with the paint in it. You got to check that video out. That was. I never thought I'd see a Wii that actually worked with paint in it, but it sure as shit had paint in it. You got to check that out for when you're doing the nutchucks. To get in a completely different topic, because we do this, and that's me. When the Wii first came out, no interest. I tried it once at a GameStop. I think it was a GameStop at the point in time. Might have been Electronics Boutique. It wasn't Funko Land, I know that. Nevertheless, I tried it. It was Super Smash Brothers. I love Super Smash Brothers and N64. Great game. Absolutely hated it. No interest. Because I'm, a creature of habit. Controller needs to be in my hand. I don't need to be doing all this weird crap. But, I ended up actually liking it. I think it's pretty cool. And, it gets muscles moving a little bit. And I think I appreciate it more now than I did then because of age. But I gotta play some more Wii. I haven't really done much on the Wii in this channel. But Super Nintendo, GameCube, Xbox. I gotta figure out what to do with that door. I was looking up stuff with how to fix certain things, and that's another great thing with YouTube. It's got a bunch of different information and different ways and techniques of doing things. That door likes to stick. I don't know why. I think it has to do with these little rods that are inside. All you got to do is put some stuff on them. At least that's for the PS2. That's what I was looking up. Where is it? No, you can't see it. But I have a PS2 one of my many thrifted ones that I got working and kind of Frankensteined a few things together, and it worked out great. Meaning just like the AC adapter that I finally found for it or whatever, but it worked great. Sounds a little sluggish, but same idea. I think that's the problem with this, but I worked through it. It's okay. Kind of sounds like it's a motorcycle at some points, but I mean, it's from the thrift, and it was 10 or $20 at the time. Imagine that. That's what that was. That's how much it was at that point. And I looked for that forever. I saw 1,000 Wiis. I saw a bunch of NESs when I first started going to the thrift. Never saw an Xbox One, and I'm like, I really want to get into it. Xbox One. What am I talking about? The original OG Xbox One I never got. I had a 360. It's buried under here somewhere. Oh, there it is right there. So, I don't really play it much, but there's some cool games with House of the Dead. No, it's not House of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead? No, it's not Dawn of the Dead. That's a great movie. How you doing? What's it called? Dead for... I can't remember it. I'm going to have to look now because, why wouldn't we? No idea. But it's not Dead Rising. I can't remember. Left 4 Dead? I think that's what it was. The hand half bitten Left 4 Dead. Yeah, that's what it was. I really like that game. It was sick. So much fun. Actually, it looked really good. It has the HDMI, I think, as well, with the Kubota cables. But go way off topic here, and I'm yawning. So I'm not going to keep this going too long. Anyway, I wanted to collect for the Xbox One again. I said, the hell with it, I'm going to do it. I've got a pretty good collection of Xbox One. Can't complain. Got the old zombie there protecting it. It's one of the most interesting things I found at the thrift, because I would never expect a toy really aimed at that, or action figure, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, something that I felt would be aimed at a certain group, like age-wise, and I was like, wow, I'm really shocked. It just seems like a younger person's action figure, I guess is the best way to put it, but I like it. It's cool. And look at just look at it. Look at that. Look at the detail, man. That cost me like $1. What a steal. But anyway, that blanket keeps falling down. Makes me mad. I went forever to get it. I got a controller for it. Wasn't really feeling it. It's one of those, got the drift, and God only knows what else, the gunk in it and everything. So I finally ended up ponying up and grabbing an actual OG Xbox big boy controller, whatever you call those things. And, there it is. And then, of course, you got the, I just jumped off topic again. So I wanted to collect the Xbox, got a few cool games, and it kind of worked out well. So I got more in there, but I think that's pretty good. I'm pretty sufficed with that. I don't know if there's really anything else I'm looking for the Xbox One, but I was collecting for it pretty heavy and hard for a while. I'm sure there's something on there though. It's got to be, right? Anyway, I have a lot of fun with that. Great system. For those who don't know, because why didn't you have it? You have all this other stuff from your childhood, right? So when the PS2 came out, obviously I was working, but not enough to just drop, a couple of bones on the PS2. So sold the PS1, sold the Xbox to be able to afford the PS2. I regret that decision. In hindsight, of course. But at the time, I was super happy. PlayStation 2, and then, of course, I had to get the Slim one eventually. And this, started getting money and getting older and getting this, that, and the other thing and everything else, but being an adult. But either way, I really wish that I didn't get rid of the PlayStation or the Xbox, because they're awesome systems. And I'm glad I was able to find one of the Xbox. Out of all the thrifts I've been to, all the times I've gone, like, it's ridiculous. Only one Xbox I found. Maybe two, but the other one just wasn't. I turned it on and it was bad. Didn't have the Ring of Death, because I think that's what the 360s, that doesn't have it, surprisingly. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. I never found a GameCube at the thrift. I mean, I see people that do, but I wish I did. This, by the way, this is not a thrift find, but I've found a few of these in the wild. What is that, you say? Well, that is a Pioneer Fancy Dancy Laserdisc that plays CDs as well. And with Laserdiscs, they have to flip. So you have to flip around side 1, side 2, and then to side 3, side 4, because obviously back then, you couldn't store as much memory on them. They're awesome. Laserdisc is great. I really do appreciate the way that it feels. It's different than a DVD. It's different than a VHS. VHS is my favorite format. I mean, I love the Blu-ray. I love the 4K. But something about Laserdisc is special. Maybe it's because I never had one as a young person. I didn't. Well, anyway, I'm sure that you've seen a few times in the Thrift Time and Finds. If you haven't, my first Laserdisc player that I got was a Sony. Worked okay, but $5. These things are not incredibly difficult to find online. There's plenty of them out there. You will pay for some pretty elite versions of it. I don't know every technical spec, or I don't claim to be an expert on Laserdisc, but they're amazing. And I just like being able to do something I didn't do before. And this one just so happens to, once you hit the end of one side, it flips automatically. The laser kind of just, it doesn't flip, because obviously with that you couldn't flip one of those big giant discs. It looks like a giant CD, and it's amazing. It actually just puts the laser on the top or the bottom, or whatever it is. I think it puts it on the top. I don't know how it works, but I did look it up because I thought it was super interesting. Because this guy, I actually think I found one at the thrift, and then I found one at a pawn shop at one point in time, I believe. Again, I don't remember, but pretty cool. I got a controller from another Laserdisc I had that I believe actually still works with this. And these controllers look awesome. I mean, just look at this. This is amazing. This looks like it could start a car. It doesn't have the battery cover. It's kind of grimy looking, but it is what it is. Listen, it works. It's pretty unique. And if you ever wanted to get into Laserdisc, I mean, there's plenty of affordable movies, but there's always a but. When you're going after specific movies or horror, just like with VHS, Not really there with DVD too much. Not really there with Blu-ray, 4K. It's just, it's still new. Now things are kind of drifting away and physical media is going away to an extent. So you're going to pay up. Those lasers, you're going to 100% pay up. I would love to have the entire Friday the 13th series. Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Child's Play, Hellraiser. I love them all. They're too expensive. I'm not kidding you. And this is me talking here. I've got a lot of crap in this room. Nope. Maybe some point in time I will. Just to be able to add it to the collection. I do have a healthy... I got a thing with Happy Birthday, some Swamp Thing. I got some VHS over here. I do have a healthy stack of Laserdiscs that I've been able to find in thrifts and over the years. I got a really good haul at one point. I think it was from a pawn shop that I might have picked that up. I can't remember. Age just creeps up on you. But either way, pretty good selection of movies. They were going to let me have the whole stack, but I just didn't have any interest. I just picked out a few I liked, and then other ones I've kind of, found along the way. Laserdisc was awesome, and if you haven't checked it out, you definitely should. Now, the last and final part, before we part, is... What is that? You haven't seen that in forever, have you? No, you have not. That is a Sega Master System. And I think that's hooked up through RF. I think it is. Maybe it's not. I don't remember. I'm going to have to figure that out. When I was redoing... Now, we're going to jump ahead. So when I had to redo this, I was trying my damnedest not to let those cords get unplugged. It's a giant pain. Dogs are not happy. Such a giant pain to plug everything back in. I had to do it piece by piece, and it was fine. It was okay. So I took apart this, I took apart that, and then, slowly down the line. When I was doing that, that would have been prime time to see if that was RF or if it's component. I want to say the only RF I have is one thing that you don't normally see a lot. The Atari. I like the Atari. It's a fun system. I have, what do I have? Can I see it from here? I'm not going to go over to it, but my Atari collection's not too big, and I've got a few box games. Pretty cool stuff, but I have a replica reproduction, which is, you're complete in box, original hardware kind of person. Yeah, well, when it comes to certain games, you can't be too picky. I have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween on one cartridge, I guess that would be called. Yeah, cartridge. It's on a double cartridge, so it has the Atari they did, officially released some of the games like that. That game in particular was not. Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre were very limited. They were frowned upon in the early 80s, I believe it was. 82, 83, somewhere around there. Again, I don't have the whole history behind it, but those games are extremely rare. Atari games are not super sought after, expensive. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't have their place. I do appreciate a good Atari game. It's just different. I'm sure NES will get to that point at some point too. Who knows? But I appreciate it. I do. I like it. I got to play it more. Again, we got to play more things more. For God's sakes, what are we doing? Just busy. Those games alone, complete in box, thousands of dollars. Couple grand. Is it Keo Flying Squadron money? If you want a really clean copy, which is extremely hard to find. I found one Texas Chainsaw Massacre and one Halloween. And I believe they were both in another country. I think it was Germany. Might have been France, I'm not sure. Entirely different country. It's like crazy. Those games complete in box. I have not seen a loose one, not to my knowledge. Probably at the level of Keo Flying Squadron, which is anywhere between $25,000 to $4,000. Oh my goodness. Listen, I'm all about the collecting. I'm all about preserving. But that is a lot of money. So, I wanted to try out the game and have some fun. Eventually, maybe make a video on it. I got it. I saw it on eBay and just bought it. It wasn't really that expensive. You gotta be careful though, because sometimes they're not very clear. That game was never released as a double-sided game. They're both very separate. So if you ever see somebody saying it's authentic and original, because that never happens, that's not the case. But still, it's great. It's cool. Get to have fun with it. It's a very short game. They both are, but there's just something about them, and we'll get into it in a review at some point. But either way, I've got the Master System here, and in my humble opinion, because why not? It's got a good selection. There's one game that I really want. I have it for the Sega Game Gear. I do not have it for... Oh, that's Dick Tracy. It's not the one I was looking for. Double Dragon. Got Rambo and Alf. Alf is a pretty strange game. This is the definitive version of the Ghostbusters. That's a pretty deep statement because most of you will probably know that version. That's not too different. It may look different. And what do you think of these covers? I find them interesting. I don't know. They kind of look like paper that you would be doing some sort of engineering stuff on. I don't know what you call that. Super duper fancy paper. Contact paper? No, that's not it. I don't know what it's called, but somebody will know. It sounds better. It looks better. It controls better to a certain extent. And it's a lot more fun to play it on this than to play it on this. Now, does that mean that I don't always, every once in a while, like to go to the old NES and pop this in? Oh, of course I do. I absolutely love this game. I appreciate it. It's just aggravating, and I hate going up 90 flights of stairs. That one on the Sega Master System is a lot different. Is that a big deal? Is that a big winner? No. Is the Double Dragon one better than the NES? I don't know. I don't think I could say that. Dick Tracy, though, is an awesome game. They have it for the Sega. They have it for the NES. The NES version, I have it complete because it's part of my childhood, but no interest. Not really that great of a game, but I can appreciate it for what it is. This is just awesome. It's got a couple different ways that you can play levels. In the car, kind of like a rail shooter, and then platforming, which I think is really cool. Nevertheless, I like the Sega Master System. Does it have a ton of games on there? Not really a ton that I've been looking for. I didn't grow up with it, but I didn't find out about that till much later on in life. I'm lucky enough to, before the big giant boom of the retro video game scene just blew up, or right kind of before it really popped off, I was able to get a complete in box one for $100-something bucks, which really isn't bad because now it's probably like $300-400. Maybe pushing more because it's a pretty good condition box. You've seen it at some point in time. But either way, before I get into the item that I found at the thrift, other than that, what do you folks think? I think this works great. I think it's a place to finally save some space in this much smaller room that I'm used to, and that's okay. That's cool. Some of our stuff couldn't be put up. Like I said, I kind of cluttered it up over here. And there's old Grumpy Bear. He's grumpy. Don't mess with him. And then, of course, Lucky Bear. So my family. Before we get to my other point, because that's who I am. I like Care Bears. Absolutely love them. They're a big part of my childhood. So I have some VHS. I went hog wild on Care Bears when they came out with the newer line 2020. I guess 2020 really spun a lot of things out of control, huh? Well, anyway. They were like, you've got so much Care Bear stuff, it's ridiculous, da-da-da-da-da. Who has gotten me any of the Care Bear stuff that I have now? Like in the last, year or two? Not me. You. And you know who I'm talking about. I appreciate them thinking of me. And can't say no to that. But just a little tidbit, that's all. Anyway, now I gotta get back to what I was saying and put Mr. Ray's stance where he belongs. Not an authentic. A re-release from, you bet it, you got it, 2020. Double Dragon's cool, by the way, on the Sega Master System. I just appreciate the NES. We were going to get to the thrifted item because I already put it up. You ready for this? I looked long and hard. I don't believe I have these three. I might. I'm not sure. Might have two of them. But either way, check this out. I gotta take off the old Death Star there. Indiana Jones trilogy. I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know this was available. All three sealed, which really isn't a big thing for me, but it's got the Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and of course The Last Crusade. I don't think obviously the latest one wasn't, but I don't think the one after that was either. It was much later. I think VHS was long gone and out of production by then, but this is awesome. I got this for $4. Is it a huge deal to me that it's sealed and make a few bucks off of it? I could, but I mean, it's just a piece of history. Again, I'm always searching for something, but man, was I searching hard for that Indiana Jones VHS, because I'd like to just put VHS on when I'm editing videos or Laserdisc, or maybe listen to some vinyl. I do all kinds of things. I do multiple things at once. Big shock, right, how these videos are. But I was really happy to find that. So that is the big reveal. That is the video. It's done. But before we go, while we go for the outro, you don't have to look at me. You can look at some other cool things. We've gone over these in greater detail for the last update I did, but I want to say thank you to the awesome, amazing support of 291. Yeah, we got one subscriber, which is pretty cool. 291 awesome, amazing folks who support the House of Fun and Video Games. Come here, have fun, comment, like, and share, and all that other happy horseshit. I do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Paying it forward. That's more important. But I do appreciate it. Tune in for all the different types of madness and craziness that we have here. I did go over them in minor detail. We also do thrift time and finds on here. We'll go to thrift, find some shit, see if it's something cool, see if it's worth it. We also have eBay time and buys, where I buy the business off eBay and I see if that, a little distracted, is something worth it. And I get it, and we go over it. eBay Time and Buys Revisited. Your boy goes over the stuff he bought from the eBay. See if he got duped. I've been duped at least once, and almost twice. But most of the time, I think we've been pretty good. Lots of great videos coming up. Along with some other things that we like to do. Let's play some video games where, you guessed it, Michael, we play some video games. We have some fun, shoot the shit, talk about things that are cool. Most of us. Nonsense. Resurrected. Very proud of this. And there's my clown. Oh, I miss this clown. It's been so long since I've seen her out. Ruggles? I think it's Ruggles. Plenty of other things to look forward to. We also do movie reviews. I've only done one. I don't really think it was the best. Oh, by the way, I think I showed this off. I took the movie Turtles out, put the original, well, not the original, those were original. Ooh, that would have been some hefty cash. The re-released from 2020, 2021. Everything just came crazy. The re-releases. It's like the remakes of the early 2000s. I don't know, 2009, 10, 11, somewhere around there. Every horror franchise was re-released. The zombie franchises are out of control. They're doing the same thing now with action figures. It's crazy. I feel like I'm walking into my childhood partially. Not fully, because, you got Child World, which was awesome. You got Toys R Us, which was great. KB Toys, you cannot match that. And if you could, trust me, I would get a loan for it, and I would do it to bring somebody just a sliver of that happiness. Because when you go to these stores today, just not the case. Right? Maybe I'm too far off. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Either way, got some box sets. You got that WWE/WWF Winged Eagle belt, baby. The best belt ever invented. A bunch of other stuff here. We do plenty of things on the channel. Plenty of more content to come. Plenty of things to have fun with. I've got a ton of stuff that I like collecting. And then, of course, Got some cool stuff here. Anybody ever find $1,000,000 on the ground? I did. That's $1,000,000. Is it real? I don't know. I don't think so. If it was, I got $1,000,000. You're not going to have it. Either way, plenty of things to watch and enjoy in the game room on the channel. I appreciate your support. Some beta. You know what that is? It's a precursor to VHS. I have a beta player. I finally found one after years and years and years of looking. Have I tried it yet? No, because there's a very particular way you have to hook it up. I got to figure it out. But we'll get there. That'd be a really cool video. Cleaning out the beta. I only got one, though. I've only found one beta in the wild. It's crazy. It's pretty cool, though. Look at that old school Walt Disney. You can't beat that. This video has gone on certainly long enough. I appreciate your support. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know what you think in the comments, as always, of the change in the game room and our conversation today. Always appreciate it. This is Jason. Wow. Got way too ahead of myself. This is Jason's House of Fun and Video Games. I hope you have a wonderful night. Hope you have a good rest of your week. The weekend is close to being here. Today would be Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Is it Wednesday? I don't know. Posters. Yeah. And look, you can see them before we go bye-bye. You can actually see them all now. It's been forever. It feels like it's been forever. Not trying to get copyright striked. That's a song. You all know what it probably is. If you don't know, I don't know what to tell you. But thank you very much for hanging out with us. Me, whoever, maybe there's 50 of us in here. 40 faces of fear. Only real ones know that. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, week, night, whatever it may be. We'll see you soon. No weird ways to end the video. Let's just end it looking at awesomeness. Because games and VHS and this and that is awesome. It's a battle station.